What's up? Damn, it feels good to be in front of this camera again and uploading a new story finally. It has been a little while. So in this story, I will be talking about the time that me and my coworker smoked some meth and almost got arrested. But before I get into that, let me start off by saying that I am a recovering addict. I've got over 7 months of sobriety right now, and YouTube is an outlet that helps to keep me clean and sober. Also, feel free to send me your trip reports for future videos. The next video is going to be one of your trip reports, so keep sending them in and I will eventually do a video on it probably. And final thing before I get into it, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask me in the comments below, and maybe sometime in the very near future I will do a Q&A if somebody suggested. So with all that being said and out of the way, here is what happened. So this happened probably around 2015, I think. I was working in a kitchen at the time, and I was pretty good friends with almost everybody in the kitchen. So me and one of my coworkers after work one night decided to go over to his friend's house to smoke some weed, or so we thought. So at this time in my life, I was drinking quite a bit. I mean, I was drinking before work, after work, during work, on the job, you know, all the time. So me and my coworker were already buzzing pretty hard by the time we got off work. So we get to his friend's house, we pull up, and we're sitting in the car for a few minutes, taking a couple shots before we go in. And this place was a total meth house. Like, everything you'd expect. Writing on the walls, very messy, crack pipes all over the fucking place, torn up furniture, meth mouth all around us. And let me just say that I have never smoked meth prior to this, and this would be my very first time ever smoking it. But remember, at this moment in time, I still don't know that I'm gonna be smoking meth yet. So we all sit down and we're smoking a bowl, and then they start passing around a meth pipe. And then they offered it to me, and my heart was telling me no, but my addiction was telling me hell fucking yes. So I knew that I did cocaine before, and I've done it multiple times, but I never really had much of a problem with it. So I figured that this would be kind of the same thing. Like, to be fair, it was, because after this time I only smoked like once or twice ever again, but still. So I took the pipe and I start hitting it, twirling the pipe like I knew what the hell I was doing. And as soon as I exhaled, I just felt really, really good. Like, I was euphoric. I was feeling good and I was ready for anything. So we went out back to this shed that they had, and there were a few people in there just smoking meth. And while it was a little sketchy, at the same time it felt like I was kind of fitting right in. And plus I was high on meth, you know, I could have had a conversation with anybody in there with no problem. So me and my friend go in, and we're sitting down at this like round wooden table that had like trippy artwork all over it. And we're just sitting there chilling, and then my friend busts out a Captain Morgan bottle, and now we're taking like little swigs back and forth. And then my coworker's friend came in, and she loaded another bowl of meth. And when it was being passed to me, without even thinking twice, I took the biggest hit that I could possibly take. I felt so good, man. Like, I just felt like I could do anything, to be honest. So I have Asperger's, which is a very mild form of autism. Basically, communicating with people is a very hard task for me, and then to put social anxiety on top of that, it's very hard for me to have a conversation with people. It's hard for me to fit in. It's hard for me to be normal. But in this moment, I was feeling good. None of that even existed. I was talking, laughing, just having a good time with people that I didn't even know. Like, I'm surprised I didn't get addicted to meth back then. Now, to be fair, I did get addicted to Adderall when I moved here, which is basically the same thing, but just in a pill. But anyways, we're passing back and forth this bottle of Captain Morgan, getting more drunk, passing the pipe, getting more high. And when she ran out of meth, my coworker asked me if we wanted to get some more. And I was just like, yes, more of that, please. So we kind of just sat around this person's house for a while until she could get a hold of the guy. And then she eventually finally does get a hold of him, and then we sit there and wait for a while longer for him to show up. He sells her meth, he sells us meth. Well, after we had smoked and drank a little bit more, we decided that it was getting pretty late and that we should really head to my coworker's place to crash. Well, we went out to my coworker's car, and we're sitting in there for like an hour before we even left, because he said that he was like too fucked up to drive, which, you know, I was definitely okay with letting him, you know, sit there as long as he needed to until he felt good enough to drive. Well, he had his music blasting in this really quiet neighborhood for like that entire hour, and I didn't really say anything, and I know that I probably should have. But sure enough, we're sitting there and a car pulls up behind us, And I'm like, hey Rick, I think that's a cop that just pulled up behind us, dude. And he kind of panics as well as I do, because at this point I still had 2 DWIs that I haven't gone to court for yet. And the first place my mind went was, I'm going to prison, 100%. So I'm sitting there telling my coworker, like, dude, please get us out of this. I cannot and will not go back to jail. Well, the cop comes up to the window, and surprisingly, my friend was actually able to pull himself together and act somewhat normal, and about as normal as he could be. But he was also honest with this officer, telling him that we were just sitting out in the car. We just came from a friend's house that was just right over there, and that he was too drunk to drive. So I'm still kind of freaking out on the inside, but luckily, thank God, honesty actually worked this time around. The cop was like, all right, tell you what, keep the music down. If you can call someone to come pick you up, then we'll just leave it at that. Can you believe that shit? That was insanely lucky and really nice of the officer to do. So my coworker pulls out his phone and he calls his wife and tells him, hey, can you come get us? We're intoxicated, blah, blah, blah. And then the cop just said, all right, y'all have a good night, and then just left. And then when the cop left, he called her back and told her, all right, never mind. And as soon as the cop was out of our sight, my friend booked it. He drove us out of there, got us back into the highway, and we were headed to his place. Now, I'm aware how stupid this is, but we were both dumb and both addicts as well. So when we get into his neighborhood, this motherfucker is drifting turns and shit just for the hell of it. And while it was fun, he was a car guy and I guess he knew what he was doing, but still, I made sure my seatbelt was locked. But finally, we get to his place and we're sitting in the driveway for a few minutes and we smoked some of that meth that we bought while we're also passing back and forth the bottles still. And then we go inside and we are both fucked up. At least I am. I'm fucked up at this point. He showed me where I was gonna sleep and I just plopped down into that bed. Like, I wasn't even really that tired either. Like, my body was worn down and was ready for bed, but my mind was wide awake. So like, I actually laid there for hours, and I think I might have gotten like 1 or 2 hours of sleep before we had to go into work that next day. And that whole day at work, I was like on edge. Like, I was tweaking. I was having a really hard time having conversations with people because I kept slurring my words and I was trying to talk way too fast, and I looked like a legit crackhead for the rest of that day. And like I said, I only smoked meth like 1 or 2 more times after this night and just haven't done it since. So that is the story of the time that me and my coworker smoked meth, got drunk, got stupid. So yeah, if you enjoyed this story and would like to hear more of these kinds of stories, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me a lot and I appreciate the support you guys have been giving me lately. Please don't forget to submit your trip reports if you have any. You can do that by emailing me or DMing me on Discord. All of that information will be down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let's get to 1,000 subs. Peace.